So I figured what better place to call it the end of the road than right here, high up in the Peruvian Andes, overlooking Machu Picchu with my good friend Steve Gleason. I guess where one journey ends, another begins. You know, when I reflect on the last 11 years of my career in this league, I realize how fortunate I've been. And much like the Inca Trail we did 2 days ago, where we took 2 grown men living with ALS in wheelchairs from the bottom of a canyon up to 10,000 feet to get to these ruins of Machu Picchu. You know, a lot of parallels between that and a career in the National Football League, especially an 11-year one. We spent 11 hours on the trail, and it was one of the most physically demanding things I've ever been through. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of adversity. There are times where you don't know if you're going to be able to make it through. There are times where you have to rely on other people to help bail you out. And what I found is that when you get to the end of it, certainly there's this huge sense of accomplishment, but it's not so much in just finishing the trail or in winning the big game. It's about the journey, and it's about the journey that you share with those people, the people around you. It's about the relationships. And when I look back at everything that I've done in my career, it's about those relationships. I've been very fortunate to play for some great organizations. To be able to start my career in Kansas City with a great man like Dick Vermeil, I'll never forget that. To play for a coach like Bill Parcells in Dallas, I'll never forget that. To build some of the relationships I built and the friendships I made in my 3 years in Cleveland, I'll never forget those things. But I think when I look back and I reflect, there's no doubt that the best 4 years of my career were spent in New Orleans as a New Orleans Saint. When Mickey Loomis, the general manager with the Saints, found out a few days ago that I was getting ready to retire, he reached out to me and asked if I'd like to officially sign a contract with the Saints and formally retire as a Saint. And immediately I got pretty emotional about it. In the spring of 2006, when I decided to come to New Orleans, a lot of people were advising us against that, but for whatever reason, my wife and I sensed that there was a chance to be a part of something that was much bigger than just football. You know, there were a bunch of guys like me, you know, Drew Brees, Scott Shanley, Mark Simoneau, who were more or less castaways, you know, mutts from other teams, and we were joining a bunch of guys who were sort of discarded the previous season in New Orleans from the team of Katrina out to San Antonio and just sort of forgotten about. So we got to join with them and sort of be a part of this rebuilding effort of the city of New Orleans. So I'm so thankful to Mr. Benson, Mickey Loomis, head coach Sean Payton, and Joe Vitt, my linebackers coach, for bringing me along for that journey. It's an experience I will never forget. You know, I feel so connected to the city of New Orleans. I've never been shy about my feelings about the city. This is a place where I feel like my career was reborn. This is the place where my children were born. I will be forever connected to New Orleans. And when I was going back over some notes the last couple of days and thinking about, you know, the journey, you know, my wife has always been a huge inspiration to me throughout my career. And I went back to some old messages she sent me, and it was from the morning of the Super Bowl back in 2009 in Miami. And she sent me a message that morning, and I still kept it on my phone. She said, "Thank you for bringing me somewhere that changed my heart forever. NOLA will always be our city, our home. It's where our life took off. I just heard this on a video about the Saints going to the Super Bowl. The people of New Orleans love the Saints, not because they are a distraction from their fall, but because they are a reflection of their rise." My family is forever grateful to the city of New Orleans for embracing us the way they have. The connection runs very deep, and I am proud to retire as a New Orleans Saint. Okay, at this point, I guess I'll go ahead and open up for a few questions. Yes, Filiberto?
Scott, ¿qué impresión te llevas de este viaje?
Filiberto, I gotta be honest, I have no idea what you just said. Jorge, ¿sí?
Scott, ¿cambias aceite cada 3,000 millas?
You know what, Jorge? That's a very important question. I'm glad you asked it. And the answer is yes. Yes, Jose?
Scott, ¿te gustaría nadar en el río Urubamba?
Wait, what did you say about my mama?
Ya.
Okay, Nelson?
Señor Scott, ¿cuántas veces ha llegado a la meta que usted ha decidido?
Listen, you and I both know that's a ridiculous question. I'm not going to answer that.
Scott, ¿qué es lo que va a hacer la próxima vez?
Una vez que tengo debajo de esta montaña, el plan es para recuperar el aliento, pasar tiempo con mi familia y escribir un poco. ¿Sí? Yes, Esteban.
So, Señor Fujita, you have had an incredible 11-year football career. You have a Super Bowl ring. You are happily married to Jacqueline with 3 beautiful daughters. I'm curious what you could possibly have on the horizon to look forward to.
You dragged me all the way up here. What's next, buddy? I'm with you. Okay, amigos, thank you for coming. Now I gotta go. I had guinea pig and alpaca for dinner last night, and my stomach's giving me some trouble. Have a good day, everybody.